Today's top stories. The Sandigan Bayan finds former First Lady Imelda Marcos guilty of 7 counts of graft. President Duterte distributes Boracay lands to Ati tribe. 12 people, including a PhilAm student, die in a shooting incident in Thousand Oaks, Southern California. And a designer from Antique brings the Visayan Patadyong to the Hong Kong fashion scene.
Good day, I'm Pia Rosas Morato. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Congresswoman Imelda Marcos is facing imprisonment after the Sandigan Bayan found her guilty of 7 counts of graft. The former First Lady may also be disqualified from running in the elections next year. Here's our report.
The Sandigan Bayan today convicted former First Lady and now Ilocos Norte Congresswoman Imelda Marcos of 7 counts of graft. The decision was in connection to her alleged financial interests in Swiss-based private foundations when she served as a cabinet official during the Marcos regime. The anti-graft court sentenced Marcos to a minimum of 6 years and 1 month to a maximum of 11 years in prison for each count of graft. On the other hand, Marcos was acquitted for 3 counts of graft involving alleged interests in Philippine-based foundations. The Sandigan Bayan likewise ordered her to explain why she was unable to attend the promulgation of the sentence, as neither she nor her lawyers were present. The Office of the Ombudsman also accused the former First Lady of depositing hidden wealth amounting to almost $30 million in a Banque Paribas bank. Her conviction means perpetual disqualification from holding any public post once the decision is final and executory. Marcos is running for Ilocos Norte governor in the 2019 elections. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfo.
Malacanang welcomes the Sandigan Bayan decision to convict former First Lady Imelda Marcos of 7 counts of graft. In a statement, presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo says the palace respects the Sandigan Bayan decision. Panelo stresses that the government does not interfere in the affairs of an independent branch of government. He adds that the decision shows that the law favors no one and that public servants are reminded that public service is a public trust. President Rodrigo Duterte led the distribution of over 600 certificates of land ownership under the Agrarian Reform Program in Aklan. A total of 623 certificate of land ownership award under the Agrarian Reform Program were distributed to 484 beneficiaries from Boracay and mainland Malay, as well as from the towns of Buruanga and Tangalan. 6 of the land titles covering 3.2 hectares of land in Barangay Manok-Manok were given to the 44 members of the Boracay Ati tribal organization. The Ati organization thanked the President for rehabilitating Boracay and distributing the lands. Agrarian Reform Secretary John Castriciones meanwhile says the Ati tribe will be trained on how to make their land productive.
Till the land, make it productive. And when the prohibition period is over, maybe your children can sell it. And it would be million. So, may mga ate dito na yayaman balang araw.
Senator Gringo Honasan has accepted the offer to become the next Secretary of the Department of Information and Communications Technology. In a statement, Honasan said he accepted President Rodrigo Duterte's offer to join him in making a better Philippines and a better government. President Rodrigo Duterte earlier confirmed he asked Honasan to join his cabinet. Honasan will replace the ICT Acting Secretary Eliseo Rio Jr. Honasan's second term as senator expires in June 2019. His appointment comes as the DICT is preparing for the entry of a third major player in the country's telecom industry. Malacanang opposes anti-cursing law. Malacanang expressed concern that the Baguio City government's anti-profanity ordinance may be unconstitutional. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo says banning profanity in establishments frequented by children may be a violation of freedom of speech. But the Department of Education in Cordillera says the measure will help remove the habits of cursing from learners and that the new ordinance will make the city of Pines child-friendly. Mayor Mauricio Dumogan considers the ordinance a necessity to project an image of a city with good character. Malacanang approves drug testing among students, and Mindanaoans favor the extension of martial law. More on these and other news around the metro from this report.
Malacanang is open to having students in grade 4 and above to undergo mandatory drug tests. This as the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency or PDEA proposed to make drug tests for students mandatory. A recent SWS survey revealed 5 out of 10 respondents are in favor of drug tests for students. Meanwhile, a majority of Mindanaoans are in favor of extending martial law. The PNP said crime rate in Mindanao significantly declined since martial law was implemented last year. However, National Security Advisor Hermogenes Esperon Jr. says the extension of martial law in Mindanao should be a last resort and must undergo extensive review. Premium point-to-point buses from the Ninoy Aquino International Airport or NAIA to Alabang, Muntinlupa and Santa Rosa, Laguna are now available. The UB Express Premium P2P buses will ferry passengers from NAIA Terminals 1 to 4 to Alabang Town Center and Ayala South Park, Muntinlupa for a fare of 110 pesos, and to Robinson's Tagapo in Santa Rosa, Laguna and Nuvali, Santa Rosa for 190 pesos. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfo.
Still to come, the Presidential Communications Operations Office taps the kapisanan ng mga broadcasters sa Pilipinas to promote the government's programs. And 12 people, including a Phil-American student, die in a shooting incident in Thousand Oaks, Southern California. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues.
So 2.9 hectares. And how many passengers a day ang kayang i-manage ito?
Well, ang carrying capacity nitong PTEX is 200,000. Carrying ang kaya niya. Pero ang max na in-expect na passengers dito a day is 100,000 passengers. Pero ang kaya natin, 200,000.
Congratulations, Secretary Togade.
Ay, maraming salamat ho.
Siguradong malaking tulong ito para sa ating mga commuters.
Napakaganda ho. Makikita nyo, ikaw naman biyahero. Makikita mo ang pagkakaiba ito sa mga terminal na nakikita mo sa EDSA. Iba ho, talagang world class ito. Liwanagin ko lang ho, hindi ho proyekto mag-isa ng DOTR ito. Malaking kabahagi ho dito, yung nagpundar ng proyektong ito. Ito ho yung Megawide. Sila ho ang talagang pasimuno at kami ho ang kumabay sa kanila upang ang posibilidad na ito ay maitayo.
Napansin ko nga, comparable ito sa mga terminal ng tren, ng mga bus station sa ibang bansa. Aircon, napakalinis, merong maayos na banyo, kompleto, pati escalator, may mga parking pa sa taas. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga bibiyahe, pwede magparking.
Pwede magparking, saka yung arrival departure, predictable and on real time.
So itong Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange, ito'y una lamang sa...
Oo naman, meron na hong matatapos na kagaya nito, mas maliit nga lang. Sa Santa Rosa yata yan. Merong negosasyon na merong itatayo na mas malaki kaysa dito, dyan sa FTI. At meron din ho sisimulan dun sa eastern side. Meron din hong proyekto sa norte, yayabong yung mga terminal na ganito. Nang sa ganon, samot-saring mga congestion ay mabawasan.
Ano mangyayari dun sa mga lumang terminal?
Pag nandiyan na ho yung auction, dapat wala na ho sila. Because they are not the accredited terminals for operation in Metro Manila.
So ibig sabihin itong terminal dito sa may sa Pasay,
target po namin mawala lahat siya.
okay, mababawasan ng traffic.
Kasi meron na hong option, mababawasan yung traffic. Tama ho kayo.
Congratulations, Secretary.
Salamat.
Abangan po natin ang pagbubukas ng Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange.
The Presidential Communications Operations Office is asking the help of the kapisanan ng mga broadcasters sa Pilipinas to disseminate and promote the government's programs. PCOO Chief Martin Adanar seeks assistance in disseminating and promoting further the government's programs, particularly the implementation of the National Identification System. He also distributed copies of the Handbook of Personal Security Measures for Media Practitioners, which was published by the Presidential Task Force on Media Security. Adanar stresses that the PCOO is active on pursuing a safer environment for broadcasters and journalists. The Philippine National Police expects to arrest more leaders of the CPP-NPA, including those who will claim immunity. This is as police arrested National Democratic Front consultant Vicente Ladlad and two of his companions for possession of loose firearms. PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde says Ladlad's arrest did not violate the Joint Agreement on Safety and Immunity Guarantees, or JASIG, as he committed a crime while peace talks are suspended. Albayalde stresses that the communist leaders cannot use the JASIG to protect themselves as they violate the law. The PNP and AFP says intelligence gathering activities against other rebel leaders are ongoing. Albayalde meanwhile denied allegations that the arms confiscated from Ladlad were planted. Expect a better and more improved services by the MRT-3 soon as rehabilitation and upgrading begins next year. Here's a report.
Rehabilitation and upgrading of MRT-3 will start on January 2019. This following the signing of the agreement for a 38.1 billion yen loan from the Japan International Cooperation Agency, or JICA. Transportation Undersecretary Timothy John Batan says upgrading of the MRT-3 will take about 43 months, with the first 26 months focused on the rehabilitation of the entire system. This includes the completion and the general overhaul of all the 72 trains. The MRT-3 has been test running China-made Dalian trains, which were acquired in 2015. The Department of Finance said rehabilitation of the train system will cost around 21.96 billion pesos. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfo.
Tragedy struck in Southern California as 12 people, including a Filipino-American student, was killed in a mass shooting. A gunman stormed the Borderline Bar and Grill in Thousand Oaks and opened fire. The gunman is a Marine veteran identified as Ian David Long. Ventura County Sergeant Ron Helus, who is a sheriff's deputy, died while trying to stop the rampaging gunman. The gunman was later found dead due to suspected self-inflicted gunshot wound. The incident also left 21 others injured. The Department of Foreign Affairs meanwhile identified the Phil-Am fatality as Elena Punsalan Housley, niece of American actress Tamara Maury Housley and journalist Adam Housley. Jeepney operators in Region 1 attends the public hearing today set by the LTFRB regarding fare increase, and new police recruits take their oath as members of the Central Luzon Police. More on these stories from the provinces from Maricor Zapata.
197 police recruits took their oath as new members of the Police Regional Office 3 in Camp Olivas, San Fernando City, Pampanga. Regional Director Chief Superintendent Amador Corpus administered the oath-taking of the rookie policemen. Bureau of Corrections Director Ronald Bato de la Rosa served as special guest. De la Rosa reminded the new police recruits not to get involved in corruption and other irregularities. The new police recruits will further undergo a 1-year training at the Regional Training School in Magalang Town, Pampanga. Rubber farmers who have been suffering from the low buying price of rubber cup lumps in North Cotabato and Soc Sargent may soon command higher prices for their produce. This as the Department of Agriculture has announced that rubber farmers will start processing raw rubber into motorcycle and small tractor tires under the proposed brand name Pilipinas Agile Tires. The Philippine Rubber Farmers Association says the project will free the rubber farmers from the control of traders. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Maricor Zapata.
Up next, the Department of Foreign Affairs rescues around 40 Filipino truck drivers in Germany and Poland. And a designer from Antica brings the Visayan Patadyong to the Hong Kong fashion scene. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
nagkaroon din muna kami ng prioritization kasi nung naka-receive kami ng memo from the central office na we only have 171,000 plus na allocation na dapat muna tayo ng prioritization based on age. So magsisimula kami sa pinakamatanda hanggang doon sa maabutan ng allocation namin. For Region 8, nag-strategize kami na i-prorate siya sa lahat ng LGU. Kasi nag-aaral na yung baby ko. So, inaayos ko muna bago ako umalis. Kung hindi, kailangan ako umalis ng madaling araw. Pero kung ang payout malayo, I have to leave at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So, ang asawa ko na talagang nag-aalaga na anak namin. Pinaresign ko siya kasi ayoko din na yaya lang ang mag-aalaga. And yung takot na, kasi we do not know the people around us. Tapos kailangan naming magbiyahe nung napakatagal. We do not know what will happen to us along the way. Ang pinakamalayo kong payout ay yung doon sa Tagapulan, Samar. It's an island in Samar na kailangan namin umalis ng Tacloban 4 o'clock in the morning and we arrive in Tagapulan 7 o'clock in the evening. Ang difficulty ko doon is ang Tagapulan ay isolated island. So kung sino yung mga nakasakay sa boat, kilala nila. Kung may stranger doon, ibig sabihin may special na activity na gagawin doon. And it was made known to them na may payout. Kahit di kami nakasuot ng may logo, pero the fact na strangers yung mga mukha namin, pwede kaming, actually narinig ko na ito yata yung mga taga-DSW ng payout. So yun yung danger ba na pwede kaming pagkaisahan nila kasi ilan-ilan lang kami, yung mga ganyan po. Feeling siya in the sense na maraming natutulungan, may mga senior citizen kang napapangiti. Alam mo na may mga senior citizen kang binigyan ng assistance na yung iba sa kanila hindi pa nakakain, walang bigas sa araw na yun lang ang inaasahan. Despite of all the challenges, I will remain. Kasi sometimes, ini-imagine ko yung sarili ko, what if andito ako sa field na to? Parang di ko napipil yung satisfaction. So, kahit madaming challenges sa DSWD, God's will, kung ano yun ang gusto ng Panginoon, I will remain.
The Department of Foreign Affairs rescued around 40 Filipino truck drivers from poor working and living conditions in Germany and Poland. The DFA is looking into the possibility that some of the drivers were victims of human trafficking. 22 other truck drivers were found in similar substandard conditions in Denmark. They were rescued after the Danish police raided their camp in Paborg last month. China and Russia enhanced their political and strategic mutual trust while expanding economic and trade cooperation. The agreement came as Chinese Premier Li Keqiang and his Russian counterpart, Dmitry Medvedev, co-chaired the 23rd regular meeting between Chinese and Russian heads of governments in Beijing. Li said this meeting is not only in line with the interests of the two countries, but also conducive to the stability of the world and the recovery of the global economy. He called on both sides to further improve trade facilitation, expand mutual investment, reinforce agricultural cooperation, boost e-commerce development, and enhance cooperation in areas of innovation. After the talks, Li and Medvedev witnessed the signing of a series of deals in areas including investment, energy, local cooperation, cultural exchanges, agriculture, quality inspection, and aviation. The Philippines now has its own official karate team as Karate Pilipinas was recognized as a member of the World Karate Federation. The WKF accepted the team's membership in the 24th World Karate Federation Congress in Madrid, Spain. Karate Pilipinas President Richard Lim says the team will be active in all WKF-sanctioned competitions. Karate Pilipinas will be coaching seminars and regional championships to choose delegates in international games. A designer from Antique transforms Patadyong into a next hot item in Hong Kong fashion. Maricor Zapata has this story.
Antique's Patadyong transforms from a traditional loose skirt to the next hot item in Hong Kong fashion. Designer Wilte Popelo from Sibalom Town was invited to join the two-day Likhang Pamana fashion show at the Sheraton Hotel in Hong Kong. He was one of the 10 designers in the country invited to join the November 10 to 11 event that will showcase the craftsmanship of Philippine weavers and designers. Popelo says he is lucky enough to undergo training on fashion design under the Department of Trade and Industry and the Provincial Tourism Office. We'll be bringing to Hong Kong 6 dresses, circle bags, tote bags, sling bags, and shawls to showcase and sell at the event. Popelo says his millennial designs are all made of Patadyong, which originates from Antique. Patadyong is a hand-woven fabric made of cotton and silk. Local weavers make it in the towns of Bagtason, Bugasong, and Tibiao. The fabric is also made into casual and party dresses. These were featured in a fashion show at Robinson's Antique last August 10 and in Shoemart Iloilo City last September 20. For the show in Hong Kong, Provincial Tourism Officer Jose Ramlo Villaluna will join Popelo. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Maricor Zapata.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Let's take another look at today's top stories.
The Sandigan Bayan finds former First Lady Imelda Marcos guilty of 7 counts of graft. President Duterte distributes Boracay lands to Ati tribe. 12 people, including a PhilAm student, die in a shooting incident in Thousand Oaks, Southern California. And a designer from Antique brings the Visayan Patadyong to the Hong Kong fashion scene.
Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And it's 46 days to go before Christmas. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. I'm Pia Rosas Marato. Good day.